Hey, everybody, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for. This is Rivalry Week prior to the conference championships and then the final selection as to who makes it. So you're with Talking College Football with Luke, Anwar, and Dan. And guys, we are ready to roll. I'm excited. How about you guys?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's gonna be a big weekend.
Yeah, Rival Week's always going to be huge. This week is going to be, hopefully, we have somewhat similar to what we had last year.
This is good. This is every college football fan. I'm going to say these words: wet dream. Right? That's what it comes down to. All right, guys. Let's give our reaction to the most recent college football rankings. Not much change. There is one little, I think it's off the radar, big change, and that's Oregon jumped Ole Miss. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the overall rankings? Are you good with it? Anybody we should that you think might sneak in there?
Right now, it's been holding steady. Like you said, Oregon jumped Ole Miss, and I was thinking the college football committee, they have one of their little standards for how they rank teams is if they lose a player or a coach, they can drop them a little bit, even if they don't lose anything on the field. And you may be seeing the beginnings of that with Ole Miss. We saw that with Florida State a few years ago with their quarterback getting hurt. And now maybe they're preparing to do that with Ole Miss, kind of just drop them out if they have a major change.
Anwar, how about you?
Point. Wow, actually, I'm just that was a good point by Dan. Honestly, I don't really have much else to say. Wow, that was you don't know what kind of distraction that's going to cause for Ole Miss, and it's tough for these players to be going into the playoff week knowing that your head coach is gone. It's almost like you don't have that much to fight for.
Yeah, is he though?
Good point. So, Anwar, Dan, since you brought it up, and you just gave a quick rebuttal to Anwar, and this is not part of what we're supposed to be talking about today, but is he gone? And if he is gone, where's he going?
I don't know. I don't think he's gone. Lane Kiffin, for anybody who is not sure. I don't think he's gone. I think the situation is too good at Ole Miss right now. They're already in a playoff spot. Like, it's like you don't go for greener grass when you're already in the playoffs. So, I don't know. I think that what he could be doing is, and this is the thing that I could see maybe only Lane Kiffin doing in college football, he could be trying to screw Florida and LSU by just prolonging their process and making them just drag it out, and then making it a whole big show, and then finally just saying, like, oh, no, I'm staying here. I was going to stay here the whole time. I don't know. I don't know. I think that would be a very Lane Kiffin move to make.
I didn't know you were
Actually, I think that was a good point.
I did too. I didn't know he was a conspiracy theorist. So,
yeah, big time.
But
I
briefly,
think he's gone, though, and the reason why is because he hasn't signed an extension, and you saw with coaches like Signetti and and Matt Rule at Nebraska, they let it be known, like, I'm staying, let's focus. But I feel like you're right, he might be trolling, but I don't think that's a good point for his team for them to be wondering about that going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right. Good points, fellas. I just find it hard to believe that I can tell you the job I wouldn't take. I wouldn't take that LSU job simply because of the way the politics work in that state. With that governor, wanting to run the college, I would not take that. Now the Florida job, the resources, it'd be tough. It'd be tough. And so I know this, again, we're way off script already, but let me ask you this. And we get to it, we'll talk about it later on. If Auburn knocks off Alabama and then they don't make the playoffs and DeBoer let's just say he gets fired, right? Do you think he could be saying, let's see what happens at Alabama? That's a job I wouldn't mind having.
I can see that happening. I mean, he used to work there, right?
Yeah, he was the OC.
Yeah.
So, now that would be a coveted job.
Well, I mean, isn't the deadline?
first place. That'd be a dumb decision. I
Yeah,
like what he's doing over
I agree, but
It's
I mean, isn't
conversation.
the deadline on Friday? Friday is the deadline for his
Is it this
decision,
Friday?
so he might. That's what they were saying after the Egg Bowl.
there. Yeah, for
So
the
he may
Egg
not
Bowl.
have a
Okay.
Like
chance to
right
wait
after.
that long.
Okay. Well, hey, this is why we're college football fans. We could talk about all of this type of stuff. So, real quick, Ohio number 1 in Ohio State, number 2 Indiana, Texas A&M, and Georgia. No changes there. Texas Tech is still at 5. Oregon is now 6. Ole Miss 7. Oklahoma 8. Notre Dame 9. Alabama 10. Miami, that's a placeholder basically for the ACC champ, and at 11, and Tulane is at 12. So we'll see what happens, guys. It's going to be exciting. So listen, the reason why we're all here this week is because this is rivalry week. It's time to talk about those big games. This is why you watch college football. You want to beat down your competitor. And this is what makes college football different from all the other sports. The NFL, yeah, you can say Bears, Packers, but really not quite like Notre Dame, Southern Cal, or Oklahoma State, or Auburn, Alabama in the Egg Bowl, and how they get these names and this tradition. My dad went to that game. My dad took me to the game. I took my son to the game. You know, I'm from the state of Ohio. I don't care where. I'm a Buckeye fan. Go Bucks. That other team sucks. That's what it comes down to. So let's we're going to talk about those games, but this week, guys, you guys are the analysts. You watch football no matter what. I mean, when nobody else is up at 2 a.m. in the morning watching the late night Rainbows, it's not the Hawaiian Warriors play. They're no longer called the Rainbow Warriors. The Warriors play. You guys are watching football. So you guys are the insiders. You guys are the analysts. I know you have to have an upset this week. So, guys, let's talk about who you see coming this week, even before we get into the actual games themselves.
All right, I'll start off. I mean, we already talked about Ole Miss, and I know I said that I think Lane Kiffin is staying, but that's my conspiracy scenario. I think that the more likely scenario is that maybe this has all been real and he stays. But like you guys said, that's a big distraction to the team. That's all we've heard about in the news the last 2 weeks. And I think that's just not good. I think you need to be focused on football. Even though they had a bye week, Mississippi State also had a bye week this previous week. Well, these two teams have been locked in on each other for the last 2 weeks. And I think Mississippi State's been focused. They haven't had all these coaching questions, and they haven't had to look ahead to a possible SEC championship or a playoff run. So they've been razor locked in on Ole Miss. They've had a couple close games, like they almost beat Texas a few weeks ago. Who else? The other close game, they had a semi-close game to Tennessee. The other close game to Florida. So they've had some tight games with some of the better, well, no, not exactly Florida, but some of the better teams in the SEC. I think that Mississippi State can pull off a big upset. You have the rivalry factor, which you never know what happens there. So Friday, I think that Mississippi State has a chance to upset Ole Miss.
Wow, that's bold. Mississippi State is putting Ole Miss on upset alert, according to our analyst, Dan Pedraza. Okay, for you people who want to make a comment, address them to Dan. Don't address them to me and Anwar. That's a Dan call. Anwar, you got one?
One. So my potential upset alert for this pick for this week actually doesn't come from a rivalry game. It comes from the Pitt and Miami game. Now I think this game could be very interesting. We've seen Miami choke away seasons before. Their head coach Mario Cristobal is kind of known for choking in the bit when the lights shine upon him. We saw this with that Georgia Tech game where a few years ago, man, that was horrendous game planning. They've got Carson Beck, and Carson Beck, he's one of these type of quarterbacks where if he throws an interception, he's throwing like 3 interceptions. And on the other hand, you have Pitt coming off a huge win last week against Georgia Tech, which they got up to like a 21-0 lead. If they play like they played in that first quarter against Miami, they'll get the win. And the ACC championship is basically on the line. If Virginia or SMU loses, a spot opens up to the winner of Pitt and Miami. So that's a huge game, and I'll be keeping my eye on it and keep that upset alert on for Miami.
There's another factor too in that game. I didn't want to bring that one up because I don't really know who I want to win that game. It may be better for me if Pitt wins, but I don't know. Forget about that. Miami is going to Pittsburgh. It's going to be like freezing.
Ooh.
This is a team. Miami's barely played outside of the state of Florida this year, so this is going to be a big change of scenery for them. So let's see how they adjust to playing in the home of the Steelers and the Panthers over there.
Dan, that's a
South
good
Florida
point because
boys. The South Florida boys out there in the cold. I don't know how that's gonna work
Yep.
out.
Oh, Dan,
You see
because
that in the NFL with the Dolphins go play the Patriots.
yeah, because it's 34 degrees here in Chicago right now, and it's cold. Anwar, Dan, did you have any other games on upset alert for us?
Another one on upset alert. I don't think this is going to happen, but watch out for Auburn over Alabama. This is a very bitter rivalry right here. Alabama's coming off a recent
Dan,
loss.
first off, I need to let you know that, okay?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We saw Oklahoma beat Alabama, and I think they may have kind of exposed the formula to beat them. Alabama really has no run game and not a very strong defense. They're all just high-powered offense with the passing game. Auburn may be able to take advantage of that. So I guess we'll see. Auburn also, they're going through a coaching search. They have an interim right now. Who knows? Sometimes teams go a little harder for an interim coach that they like. Kind of try to cap off the season with a big win over Alabama, get that guy hired for the permanent job. So who knows? We could see Iron Bowl have some fireworks, maybe knock Alabama out of the playoff.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
huge.
I got a point to add to that too. So in things going for Auburn. So you just mentioned about Miami having to come up to Pittsburgh, but in that game, Alabama has to go to Auburn at night, and I saw this fact where Alabama hasn't beaten Auburn at Auburn. Their stadium's called Jordan Hare, 3 times in a row, like in their program's history, and they're coming off 2. So they're gonna break history right there. It's a long history going back between those two. So I definitely like that Auburn pick for sure.
Anybody else got any more upsets, or you want to get ready to go ahead and let's talk about the rivalries?
Sure, I got one more. I got one more. And my last one, we talked about this a little bit before the show, but this Texas and Texas A&M game. These teams haven't played for forever, and last year comes
They
down to
played
the wire.
last
Texas
year.
gets the win. I know, but they haven't. Before that, they hadn't played it forever. When it
Okay.
comes down to the wire last year, these two teams absolutely hate each other. It's like kind of a rivalry renewed thing going on over there, and for Texas, like they're sitting on 3 losses, but I'm sure like Texas probably has a chance to get in if they beat A&M. They would knock off the number 3 team. And like if you're a Texas player, you're probably thinking like we have a shot to beat our rival at home and get in the playoffs to win. Like, this is like they have something to fight for, and plus the hatred. Rivalry week, crazy things happen. Arch Manning has been really bad on the road, but really good at home. It's a home game for Texas, and you've really seen a lot of Arch Manning take a lot of steps forward recently. So I just want to put Texas A&M on upset alert, even though I don't think it'll happen. I'm kind of like Dan with the Auburn Alabama thing. I don't think it'll happen, but I think it's
Upset
worth to keep an
watch.
eye on.
They're on upset
Upset
alert,
watch.
so that's what it is. Hey, guys, I just want to say for you people watching out there, listen, when you direct those comments at the analyst, it's on Instagram at Talking College Football. So you have to do @ Talking College Football _ and pick out who you want to attack. I haven't said anything on any of these games, so I just want you to know it's analyst Anwar, ANWAR, and analyst Dan. DAN. Those
And
are
we
the
got rough
guys you
skin.
send the negative comments to.
Bring it to
We
me.
got rough skin. We got rough skin.
Yeah, let's see it.
But, hey, they're doing their job, guys, so you can't be mad at them, right?
Mhm.
All right, fellas, it's here. This is week 12 for us doing the show, and we finally get to talk about going into the big games. We know why we do this. We're going to pick the winners, and we're going to keep an official record this week. Maybe, maybe not. You guys are undefeated, so it's kind of hard to beat your records, right?
Yeah,
So let's
keep it
start
going.
off with your pick, Mississippi State, Ole Miss. Who you guys got? Who's going first?
Well, I already said I got Mississippi State right here.
Okay. Can you write it down for me, okay?
Got it.
Anwar, who you got?
I'm taking Ole Miss. I just think that they're just a better team. They're just a better team overall. Like Ole Miss has some weakness in the defense, and I really like Ole Miss's quarterback Trinidad Chambliss, and like I know there's the whole rumor and distraction, but just overall, just Ole Miss just out talents them. Give me Ole Miss in that one.
Dan, you took Mississippi State?
Yeah, that was my upset.
Oh, okay. You're standing by. You're upset. All right. Let's talk about those Georgia Bulldogs against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Dan went first the last time. Anwar, you go. Who you got?
Yeah, give me Georgia. I feel like Georgia Tech's got to be just reeling after that loss last week. Like they had everything to play for. This is their best season in forever, and I feel like just that loss last week just took the air out of them. Just to come out like that in the biggest home game in your program's history, just to go down 21-0 in the first quarter, Georgia might be a little bit better than I thought they were. Still think Georgia has some weaknesses, especially with their defensive line, but their offense is just too good, and Georgia Tech's defense is just too bad. I'll take Georgia.
Okay. And Dan, who you got?
Yeah, I agree. I'll take Georgia. Pretty much echoing everything that Anwar said. Georgia Tech doesn't really have as much to play for anymore besides the rivalry. They're kind of out of the ACC title race now, unless there's a big upset down the line somewhere else in the ACC. Also, they're not even playing at home. They're in Atlanta, but they're at Mercedes-Benz where the Falcons play. So I don't even know. They won't have their home crowd. Who knows how many Georgia Bulldog fans will fill up that stadium. So I'll go Georgia.
Come on. They always fill up that stadium. I got a question, though. So if Georgia Tech wins, are they 10-2? Or would they be they'd be 10-2,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if Georgia Tech wins, they're 10-2. That would give them the absolute best win of the year over the number 4 ranked team in the rankings. That doesn't get you into the playoffs?
Yeah, that is true. Like the fact that they, like ACC wise, no, but they may just get in as an at-large after beating one of those top teams. So maybe, I don't know. But, I mean, there's a reason why Georgia's ranked so high. I don't know if Georgia Tech has enough firepower to do that.
Oh,
yeah.
Personally, I'm not doing a pick. This is you guys. Go ahead.
Even if they beat Georgia, I feel like it's kind of like this ACC bias. Like ACC is seen as a weak conference, and Georgia Tech has 2 conference losses. And I think that you're looking like if they beat Georgia, they'd have a great win, obviously. But I don't think anybody's like how they have these quality losses. I feel like Georgia Tech doesn't have those quality losses even. So I don't even know.
I mean, we could see Pitt making the playoff too. Like if their losses are to Pitt and then they beat Georgia, you never know. But I don't think that's gonna happen. So.
Yeah, then Pitt. A lot of stuff would have to happen for Pitt to get in too. You need Virginia or SMU to lose.
Okay.
And then
let's get back on track. I just wanted to put that out there though, but 10-2 Georgia Tech with a win over the number 4 team. Nobody has a win that good. If you look at the rankings, nobody would have a win that good. All right. Mm-hmm. Now this one it's a rivalry. This year's not expected to be too much. Purdue versus Indiana.
Yeah.
Why were you talking about this?
We saw Notre
Yeah.
Dame win by 63 last weekend. Indiana might win by 73, just to outdo them.
Okay, think about it.
Yeah.
Last year, if Signetti beat him 66-0 last year, and he kicked an extra point from 65 to make it 66, what do you think he's going to do
Yeah,
with this team this year?
it's just like Indiana. They got this little brother syndrome still, because they were just at the bottom of
Yeah.
the Big Ten for forever, and now it's like, oh, we're actually a good team. We got to run it up on everybody. So if Kurtzinetti gets the chance to run up the score, he's one of these coaches that's going to run up the score. So they might just go and run up the score in Purdue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, they may
All
want
right.
to like kind of pad their stats even more. Even though they're playing a bad team, they want as many data points as possible for their seeding if they lose to Ohio State in the Big Ten championship, so they can keep that number 2 or 3 ranking and get a bye.
Plus the Mendoza Heisman race too. They want to put up a lot of stats for Mendoza. He's still like in the right now like a top 2 in the Heisman race. So there's no reason for Indiana to take the pedal off the metal this week.
Yeah, it's the hype train on that one. All right. So everybody's got Indiana. All right. Let's talk about the Wildcats of Arizona and Arizona State Sun Devils. Now, legitimately, both of these teams could still make it to the Big 12 playoffs. I mean, that's what's so crazy, you know? So who's going first on this one? Who you guys got? And is
I'll take
Dillingham,
Arizona
I guess
State.
the question, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interject.
Sorry, no, go ahead. I mean Arizona State. I think
Dan's got ASU. Okay.
these are all
AT?
Friday games.
It's a Friday game too. Yeah.
All these have been
My
Black
failed,
Fridays.
my failed team, my failed watch team from early in the season. I still like Jordan Tyson. Give me ASU, but Arizona's a good team. They're sneaky. I think this will be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. This is going to be actually a close game and a good rivalry game to watch. So I still take Arizona State, but I think it's going to be a really close game.
Quick side question for you on this one: Is Dillingham, did he renew, or is he up for one of these top jobs?
He didn't renew.
Any word?
I feel like there's a couple coaches who I feel like haven't been talked about a lot. And Kenny Dillingham's one of them, but also like Clark Lee at Vanderbilt. Like, why are these people not talking about these names for coaches?
Yeah, I haven't heard
really
either of their names much.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on to the next game. It's not a traditional rivalry, but we included this game because of the impact on the playoff scenario. So we're talking about the Pittsburgh Panthers and the Miami Hurricanes. Who you guys got?
I don't want to let you go first.
Yeah, sure. So this is my upset pick that I actually do think will happen, and especially after Dan told me about that it's in Pittsburgh, in the cold. I've got Pitt. You know, like Pitt's coach comes out a few weeks ago against Notre Dame and says, "Hey, we can lose to Notre Dame by like 1 million. It don't matter. Like as long as we just win out." And I think that's what they got their sights set on. I really like Heinisch, who's their quarterback. They've got some good playmakers on the outside. And they got a really solid defense as well. If Miami comes out in the cold, Carson Beck with his cold hands, can't throw to Malachi Tony, it could be a rough game for Miami. So I will take Pitt in that game.
Yeah, it's an early morning game. I'll take the other side. I'll take Miami. As much as I would like for them to lose, I think Miami will pull it out.
Well, is there a reason why you're choosing Miami, Dan?
I just think they're a better team.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Miami beat Notre Dame and Pitt lost to Notre Dame by like 20.
Okay.
That's their common opponent.
All right. Now here goes this is not a new rivalry. It's a renewed rivalry because they're in a new conference. Washington Huskies, Oregon Ducks. What's going to happen?
I think Oregon's going to win, but Washington is a sneaky good team. I thought they were going to sneak into the back end of the rankings this week. I'm very surprised that they didn't. But Washington is a real deal team. This is going to be a very good game, and it's going to be at Washington. But I still give me Oregon.
Okay. AT?
Yeah, so I think Oregon wins pretty easily. What I saw last week from Oregon looked like a top 5 team. Like, to me, oh, man, they don't have a lot of weaknesses, honestly. And we saw them struggle in that Iowa game, but it was like pouring rain, and they were out their top 3 receivers. they got their tight end back and they look significantly better. Those wide receivers are going to start coming back for Oregon, and Dante Moore is looking really, really good. Uh, I don't think Washington's a bad team, but I'd still feel very comfortable taking Oregon in that win.
Okay. All right. Hey, just for you people watching, we're going to post their selections below so you can comment on them then. All right, let's go to the SEC. This is a sneaky, really good one. You got the Tennessee Volunteers and against the Doors, the Vanderbilt team. Who you guys got? Let me see who's going to step out on this one.
All right, I guess I will. Yeah. I think Vanderbilt. I think that Tennessee has been a little overrated all year. They've been hanging around the back end of the rankings for the last few weeks. Maybe now they've kind of earned that, but in earlier weeks, I don't know why they were hanging around 23, 24. I think it's going to be Vanderbilt. Diego Pavia is going to be going for that Heisman campaign. He's going to want to put on a show. I believe they're playing at Vanderbilt. Actually, no, they're at Tennessee. Still, I think that Diego Pavia is gonna carry him over Tennessee. Finally, little brother will get one in that rivalry.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go against you, Dan. I'm gonna take Tennessee in that game. You know, first of all, I'm not a big Diego Pavia fan. He's kind of like a run his mouth, like talk all the tough, and he's siding with like Johnny Manziel and all this, and bringing his mom dating Theo Vaughn, and it's like a circus clown show over there. Tennessee, they got a really, really high-powered offense. You know, I love Brazel, one of the wide receivers on Tennessee. He's been one of my favorite players to watch all year. And they run that like deep post offense, so they're going to go deep a lot of the games, and it's going to be interesting to see if the Vandy DBs can run with those Tennessee wide receivers. But the game being at Tennessee, I think that one team knocked out of the playoff race, that being the Vanderbilt Commodores, and I'll take Tennessee in that game.
One more thing too, watch out for fireworks in this game. I think it's the 111th versus 113th ranked pass defense. So with two great quarterbacks. So this is going to be an old school Pac-12 or Big 12 game.
Yeah.
Wow.
2015 Big 12.
A side note: if Nico had stayed at Tennessee, do you think they would had a better season versus Aguiar?
Tennessee's current quarterback has been really good. Bro, I do like Nico. I know he's like kind of like Pavia and a little bit of a drama queen, but I saw him how he played in that Ohio State game last year, and I thought like it was not his fault that Tennessee lost that game. I thought he played really well and truly, tried really hard and really good at avoiding sacks, can run the ball. I don't think their season would have been too much different with him, though. I think Aguilar.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the Tennessee actually ended up with the better side of that kind of trade.
Oh, okay. All right. So we are down to the final 4 picks for the rivalry week. It's hard saying that word, rivalry week.
Rivalry.
Listen, fans, we are fans of certain teams, so they are down here, and we're going to make some selections. I'm only going to give my opinion on one game. So we are finally at the Iron Bowl. We got the Tigers, Auburn against the Tide. Roll Tide, Alabama. This is gonna. What, Anwar and I, when he was younger, and Saban kicked that long field goal, and we're watching this game, and I said, it's not going to make it. I said, he's going to run the ball back. And Anwar and I were going nuts as Auburn ran a pick, not even a pick, a kick 6 back for a win. So, I mean, that's the type of stuff that happens during rivalry. It doesn't happen any other time of the year. Just crazy stuff. Saban doing something like that. Come on, you can't even imagine that. So here we go. Auburn, Alabama. What we got?
Well, I already mentioned Alabama's my upset watch.
Okay.
I still think Alabama's going to win. I think they're the better team. they are not a complete team, so they may have some problems down the line. But I think that they're going to get it done in this game. But watch out for Auburn. You never know. Rivalry week.
So I guess this will be my big upset pick of the week. But
Hmm.
I'm gonna go out on a limb on this one, and I will take Auburn. And kind of based off what you just said, there's some just crazy things that happen at that stadium. There's some crazy things that happen during rivalry week, and Oklahoma kind of gave the formula to beat Alabama a couple weeks ago, and Auburn has a really good defense. Like they were struggling all season. They couldn't move the ball on offense, but their defense is strong. They can get pressure on Ty Simpson, and we saw what happens when you get pressure on Ty Simpson. That passing game doesn't go as well, and they don't have a running game to fall back on. So crazy thing, Alabama's by far the better team, but just with the rivalry craziness, and Auburn has nothing else to play for, and I think with that Oklahoma game, you got the formula to beat Alabama. I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm going to take Auburn WDE this week to pull off the upset.
Wow. Woo! Big one. Big time. You heard it here first on Talking College Football with Luke. I'm going to switch the order, fellas. Texas A&M, Texas. This is a big one. Is it gig 'em or go horns? By the way, thank you for all of you Texas A&M Aggies out there who follow the station. There's a lot of you.
Thank you. Yeah. This one's Friday too, by the way. This game.
Well, thank you guys for following, but I don't like your team.
Oh, wait a second. We have over 1,100 Aggies who follow us. You can't say that.
That's you know. However, I don't like your team, but they're gonna beat Texas. This is the rivalry I did play. I did choose to pay attention to. I think Texas has a chance in this game. However, I do think Texas A&M pulls it off.
Oh, wait a second. I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. Who did you choose?
A&M.
But you're just talking about you think Texas can do the upset. I'm sorry. I just need to be clear. I didn't understand you.
Yeah. I was saying like Texas has a chance, and I think this game will be close. But I do think Texas A&M goes on the road and gets the win out in Austin. Man, if they play like they played in that third quarter against South Carolina, it's going to be hard to beat them. So, yeah, give me Texas A&M.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah.
Dan, who
I
you
agree.
got?
I agree. I think Texas A&M is going to win this. They've just been, they have a perfect record, but they've been imperfect all year. They've found a way to win some close games. And I think that's just how it's going to go. Like, no matter how far down they get, they're going to have to find a way to come back and win this game. But like Anwar said, Texas does have a chance. They're a good team. But I think Marcel Reed, another guy we talked about who may be going for the Heisman, is going to want a little extra. He's got some personal stuff and also some team stuff. Keep himself in the playoffs, keep himself in the SEC title game. So I think Texas A&M is going to win this.
Okay. All right, we're down to listen. Everybody who's watched our show, you know that we're getting ready to talk about the two teams that we all follow. Okay, so in this order, we're going to talk about the Stanford Cardinal, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. So I'm going to let Onward go first.
All right,
for sure.
Yeah. we're going to let Dan have his flowers. Okay.
All right.
Nah, Notre Dame will murder him. Dang. Yeah, speaking of like teams that are with the Heisman watch thing, Jeremiah Love is definitely up there in the Heisman race. I feel like he's not a quarterback, so not getting a lot of much Jeremiah Love as he should be. But he's probably the most like talented running back in the country. He can do things on a football field that like I haven't seen since Saquon Barkley, and Saquon Barkley is one of the best running backs I've ever watched. So if Marcus Freeman gets that running game going, it's over. Notre Dame's just more talented team anyway, so I'm pretty confident taking the Irish.
Okay, hold on before we get to Dan. I just want to, in all fairness, Stanford played really well last week against Cal, right? and they've played extremely well at home. So I just need to put that out there. Listen, I already wrote down who Dan's going to pick, so it doesn't matter what I say. Dan, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a beatdown. We saw what Notre Dame did to Syracuse last weekend. I don't think they're going to do exactly that, but I think they're going to beat the brakes off Stanford still. This is their last chance to kind of add some finishing touches to their resume before the final playoff rankings. They don't get a conference championship or an Army Navy game or anything like that. So this is going to be the last taste that the committee has of Notre Dame. So I think that they're just going to want to make another statement, prove that, okay, we beat the hell out of Syracuse. We can do it against other teams too. So I mean, Notre Dame. Like, this is not even a rivalry. The real Notre Dame's real rivals didn't want to play Notre Dame at the end of the year. They're always trying to move the game forward so they don't have to come to South Bend in the winter. So they cry about that, and now they're not trying to play them at all. So, yeah. Well, we could get to the real rivalry next.
So last week, I wanted to take you through this text spread I get from Dan. He's like, "Hey, are you watching the game?" I'm like, "No, not really." He's talking about the Notre Dame. Who was that? Who were they playing last? Was it Pitt? No, Syracuse. I'm like, "No, not really." I said it's 21-0. I'm thinking. I looked at the clock and I saw like 7 minutes to go. I thought it was the second quarter. And then Dan writes back, "They're going to kill him. This is the greatest quarter of all." And I looked, and I'm like, what is he talking about? I looked back up. That's the first quarter. Notre Dame hadn't been on offense, and it was 21-0. Dan's just going crazy. I'm like, I just had to share that one.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't even paying attention at the beginning of that game. I saw 2 touchdowns, and it was 14-0. They had a blocked punt for a touchdown and a pick six, and then they got another pick six before they got the ball back. And then they scored on the second play they had on offense. It was for like a 60-yard touchdown run by Jeremiah Love. And then the quarter ended 35-0 with them on the 1-yard line. And then the first play of the second quarter, they ran it in for another touchdown. So just beatdown.
Yeah, they lit them up. All right, so we saved for my show and for a lot of people, our biggest crowd that follows us outside of our biggest groups of people, just to let you guys know, when I look at the analytics, our biggest fan bases that like us are the Texas A&M Aggies, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and the Ohio State Buckeyes. So I need to be clear as to who's watching our show. Now, everybody, yeah. So, anyway, I listen, guys, before I say anything, I just want you to see my shirt. Okay. And I'm going to remind you, who is the current national champ. Okay. And I will not be making a pick because you guys know I can't pick this game.
I wonder who you think.
It's been 4 years and we had to listen to a bunch of crap from a bunch of people who live in a cold weather state, worse than Ohio. Every time you go on a message board, they got go blue. Yeah, listen, and how all this other crap I've listened to 2000 when we went through 12 straight years when they didn't have a single class of students that had ever beat the Buckeyes, and they get 4 little crummy wins, and then they would just want to chirp constantly. So I'm not even going to choose who's going to win this game. All I know is that on Saturday at 3:00, when I break open my nice glass of cognac, 1730, I should go get the bottle now and sip that bad boy. And I'm going to be on here. I'm going to do an instant analysis, and I'm just going to go off on everybody who said they like that other team. All right. So, guys, let's get your picks.
All right.
Dan, go first. I want to get a prop.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, Ohio State has clearly been the best team in the country so far this year. Michigan's been good, but Ohio State has been number 1 since I think week 2 or 3 for a reason. I know in our rankings they were number 3, but that was only because we didn't want to look biased. We would have had them at number 2, or number 1 in week 2. Ohio State, I think they're going to win. Nobody on the Ohio State team has ever beaten Michigan. So I think this will be their first taste of doing it.
Yay! Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
Well, I see. I can't follow my dad Luke over there, but he's not the only Buckeyes fan of the channel. I also happen to be a Buckeyes fan, a big fan as well. And as he said, currently national champions, 2024 season, and yeah, Ryan Day is coming to take care of business this week. He's hurt. Ryan Day's got the formula now. Everybody's at his throats a couple of years ago, and not even a couple of years ago, last year. Now everything's quiet down. Everything's stable with the Buckeyes. They're just rolling. We've seen the Buckeyes just roll throughout the season, really without a. But even that Texas game, I didn't feel like that was their best effort, and they still rolled to a win, kind of. Michigan's just not talented enough. Their fans, like you were saying, chirp all over the internet. There's 2 fan bases that chirp all over the internet. It's Clemson, but they're done, and Michigan. And see, the Clemson fans already shut up. Now the Michigan fans will shut up, and the internet will be at peace. Obviously, give me the reigning national champs. Go Bucks.
There you are. We made the selections. Now the games have to be played to make us make our comments come to truth. Watch out for those upsets. Watch out for rivalries. I want to share that it's guys, we've did a whole season. This has been fantastic. Ms. Renee the Barber, who has been doing our game day snacks, has something for you to say thank you for the whole season. She made chocolate Buckeyes for you. The original peanut butter surrounded by chocolate, looking like the official Ohio State Buckeye. It's edible, so you will be getting a package. Well, I don't know when you're going to get your package. I guess we'll have to put it in the freezer. Dan, she has some set aside for you. Following, we're still in Japan. So we're immediately following this. We're going to do a special Miss Renee show on Talking College Football with Luke, where she has prepared and she's going to show you how to make these Buckeyes.
All right. It's been a week or 2. I've been missing them.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, a couple things I want to talk about. I know you guys have agreed to do, I don't know when you wanted to do it, but we're going to do the special show on the awards. We're going to call them we're going to call them the Dan and Anwar Awards, or whatever name you guys come up with.
We'll be doing it later. We'll figure out a name.
Okay, we'll figure out a name later. We'll do that. Let's do that after the conference title games and before the playoff games start. Okay?
All right.
Yeah, I like that.
Sounds
all
good.
Right. And
actually, one more thing for the Michigan-Ohio State game. The big playoff implications there, too. Not as much for Ohio State, but Michigan wins, they're in. And Michigan might even be in the Big Ten championship game. I'm not sure exactly how that works out, but they only have 1 Big Ten loss. So with the win with that, they may jump Ohio State for the Big Ten title game.
They would need Oregon to lose. So if Michigan beats Ohio State and Oregon loses to Washington, I think they'd be in.
Yeah, that's how they get in.
But yeah,
there's another way.
Yeah.
Indiana could lose, and if they beat the Buckeyes, then they would play, I believe. They had some sort of formula where it would be Oregon versus Michigan, because they go by the points of the teams that you've played. It's really convoluted. How the Big Ten, and listen, even when they were called the Western Conference years ago, when they first started the Big Ten, they had the same formula in place as to who would be the winner. And they just keep updating it from when they were the Big 8 to the Big 10 to the Big 1G with when they added Penn State, then the 14, and now we're at 18. Um,
I got the real Western teams.
yeah. So I'm going to share a story with you. My first Ohio State game was in September of 1974, and we opened the season against I I I think it was Oregon or Oregon Ducks. I forget. I was a freshman at Ohio State and went to the game, and I was so excited to meet Archie Griffin and um, Cornelius Green and Pete Johnson and all those great players from Ohio State, and we rolled on Michigan. Then the following year we had the tie and we went to the Rose Bowl. Then they got a guy named Rick Leach came there, played quarterback. We could not beat that guy at Michigan. I've hated Michigan ever since. So anyway, I don't want to digress. I'm not going to go take you guys down the rabbit hole of what it was like in the 70s or actually the John Cooper years, when they absolutely owned us, until Tressel comes along. We turned the tide on them. Anyway, fans, thank you very much for sticking with us for the whole year. Our viewing numbers are great. It's the subscribers. We need you to subscribe to the channel. We do this because we love sports. We would like you guys to love us just a little bit back. I think Dan and Anwar and we think we have an excellent show. And we think that we put out on a weekly basis every Thursday at 10 a.m. And our picks will go up. We're going to have to do the picks early because, like Dan, you mentioned, some of these games are Thursday and Friday games. So maybe we should try to release. Yeah, maybe we should try to release the picks Friday morning this week. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds
okay.
good.
We'll put the picks up Friday morning.
Black Friday.
Yeah. Hey, your
I got
comment.
one thing before we end the show. Before we end the show, let me just bring up 2 points. Number one, Oklahoma State hires North Texas, my alma mater, Oklahoma State. Still a Buckeyes fan, but just gotta shout out my alma mater. Gundy's gone. Bring in Eric Morris from North Texas. Probably bringing over Drew Mestamaker and that star running back. Oklahoma State will be back this year. Second point I want to bring up. What happened to Illinois, bro? Nobody's taking accountability for what's going on over there.
It just collapsed. This year's over.
Happened last week?
Yeah, I mean, it was one thing to lose to Washington, but losing to Wisconsin, come on. That's ugly. I don't know.
Ever since they said Fickle was going to be back at Wisconsin, I mean, they've been playing some good football, man. Yeah. I don't think that bad of a loss. But Illinois still? What are they? They're going to finish 9-3 with a win.
I think they're 7-4 right now.
7-4. And I think 8-3. Northwestern, have they already qualified for a bowl game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Northwestern's 6-5 right now.
This might be the best Land of Lincoln showdown in a while.
Yeah. We could have talked about that game. It probably because we're big. We live in Big Ten country. Northwestern, I mean, Dave Braun has actually done an exceptional job and with that Northwestern team. I mean, because they were picked to finish 18th, at the beginning of the season, and now they're going bowling,
Yeah.
And we didn't even talk about what happened with Nebraska last week at Penn State. I mean, Penn State, if they win this week, they're going bowling too, right?
Yeah. Crazy.
Hard to believe.
And who are they playing? Rutgers, I think.
And Rutgers needs the win to go bowling.
Yeah.
Just so they can go 6-6.
One of those teams has to go.
Huh?
Somebody's got to go to the bowls out of those two. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, this is bonus time. So if anybody wants to stick around, we could talk about is Loxley back at Maryland, right? Or is he?
I think he is because there's so many coaches on the carousel right now. I think that there's more jobs than there are coaches to go around. High quality coaches. I think it'd be a mistake to fire somebody else right now. You're not, guaranteed or even likely to get a better coach. You see Penn State with that. Like, are they going to get someone who's better than James Franklin?
Oh, goodness.
No,
They're not going to get somebody better than James Franklin. They're not.
that was a huge
Not.
error on their part, man. And that's like, Anwar texted me during the week. He made a joke about Florida State not getting rid of Norvell. And my response was, who are you going to get? Because
they had to get rid of him, though. It was a different situation between Penn State and Florida State. I still feel like Florida State got to get rid of Norvell.
I don't see it, Anwar. I mean, he made the. We'll see. Look at what Virginia Tech has already done. They took a recruiting class that was like in the close to 90 or something like that. Franklin already has moved him into the top 30 at Virginia Tech. And signing day is a week. It's next week, right? Is it the day before the bowl game, before the conference championships? National Signing Day? It's next. I'm pretty sure it's next week. And I think Franklin has come in and will probably turn Virginia Tech around in 1 year. At least talent.
Dude, that's the conference to do it. If you're going to kind of build a team from scratch, ACC is wide open.
Yeah. So anyway, this is.
But I mean, you even see like Arkansas. Like a lot of people said that Eric Morris chose Oklahoma State over Arkansas. Like, it kind of just shows the state of the coaching search. Like they're choosing these teams over each other. Like, okay, who wants to go to Arkansas? I guess nobody. Maybe we'll see. Maybe Brian Kelly goes back. I don't know.
I don't think anybody likes him right now. He might be just barred from the coaching world.
Who, Brian Kelly?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably the most hated coach on the planet.
All right. So, okay. I don't know how we got on this coaches thing, but what about Chip Kelly? Does he land somewhere next year? He just got fired by the Raiders.
Yeah. I can see it.
And
he's not going to get a top job. He's going to get a lower level job if he comes.
Maybe he'll be an OC for a top level team or a head coach for a lower level team.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned the Penn State guy. What's this, Terry Smith? Do you roll with him, or do you really legitimately think that Brian Hartline is your guy at Ohio State? And if Hartline is your guy at Ohio State, does Ohio State go back and say, Chip Kelly, you're welcome back?
Yeah, I mean, Chip Kelly brought us a national championship. The one thing is Ohio State is going to do their best to not get rid of Brian Hartline. Like, with those wide receiver recruitings, like, you just can't, like, Brian Hartline kind of seems like the Ohio State coach in waiting right now. And I feel like Ohio State is going to do anything in their power not to let him go somewhere within the conference.
You think he's the coach in waiting, huh?
It seems like it.
I think that there is another coach in waiting for Ohio State as well. And he is the quarterback coach for the Chicago Bears. And he had most of the records at Ohio State, and that's J.T. Barrett. Now, it's whether or not he wants to go to college rank or stay in the pros. Because I've always thought that Urban Meyer was right saying that J.T. Barrett would make a great coach one of these days. And man, we could go down this rabbit hole and talk. Yeah, he's the quarterback coach for the Bears. And the Bears are in first place in the NFC North.
Good quarterback.
Who would have expected that?
Hey, I expect that. I expect that every year.
Yeah. I know. It sucks to be a Bears fan.
I mean, we're all Bears fans too, so yeah, that's what we all agree on being Bears fans, but you don't expect it.
we all like the Bears and we all hate Michigan.
Yeah.
Exactly. We all agree on it. Yeah.
All right. Some of this stuff we might have to just cut up and put into the social media posting, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram @ Talking College Football, and also our YouTube channel. And we do our instant analysis. I'm sure we'll have quite a few of those on Friday and Saturday. So again, we're going to go back to please like and subscribe to the channel. All right, guys.
Happy
Talk to you
Thanksgiving.
next week.
See y'all
Happy
next week.
Thanksgiving, everybody.
Go Bucks. How? Oh, OHIO. All right. So where is? Oh, there it is. We hit the stop button.